So let's see, we've got about 20 people in the room. I think what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go ahead and get started for us. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully everybody can see this on their side. To get us started, just to introduce myself, my name is Alex Arizari. I operate on the customer success team here at InsuredMine. What I'm going to be walking you guys through today is a little bit about our Canopy Connect integration. So we're going to go through a couple slides here. I'm going to walk you through the process of actually enabling the integration, linking your Canopy Connect account to InsuredMine. And then we're going to take a look at the portal where you can access that Canopy integration, how we can send out links and requests, and then also where we track some of your analytics as well. If anybody has any questions while I'm running through this demo, please do not hesitate to put them in the chat or use the Q&A function. I will do my best to answer all the questions during the session, but for anything else that needs to be taken off call, either your designated CSM or somebody from our support team will be more than happy to assist you guys. Okay. So this next slide is just a little bit of an agenda. Like I said, we're going to go through a couple slides here, show you guys how to enable the integration. And then we're going to take a look at a live demo. I'll leave some time near the end just for a Q&A session if you guys have any additional inquiries. And then we'll be wrapped up for the day. Okay. So to start us off, how do we actually link Canopy Connect to InsuredMine? Okay. In order to link the two platforms, what you need to do is you need to access your settings module. In order to get the settings, you either click on the profile picture in the top right corner of your InsuredMine profile and select the settings button from the dropdown that appears, or in the bottom left corner of your portal, there should be a settings cog that will take you to the same location. Either button you could select will take you into settings. After that, you're going to click on the integrations tab. Now, it should default here for you. What you're going to then do is scroll down the list of available integrations. We connect with emails, we connect with phones, but the most important one for our purposes is the Canopy Connect tile. Once you click on the integrations tab, find Canopy Connect and click on the connect button right here. Okay. Once you've found Canopy Connect, it's going to pull a little pop-up window up in the middle of your page. That pop-up window is going to ask you to confirm if we want to create an X state in the contact when a policy is directly pulled from the Canopy Connect link. You would either check or remove that box, and then you would click on the orange Connect button to process and send you over to the Canopy Connect login page. Let me see real quick here. I have a couple things in chat. Let's see. Colleen says she doesn't see Canopy Connect. You should see it as an available integration option in this section. If you're not seeing it for whatever reason, I would definitely recommend reaching out to our support team, as it should just be listed as a possible integration in your portal, depending on whether or not you've already integrated it. Okay. So once you've clicked on the connect button, it is then going to redirect you to the Canopy Connect login page. Please enter your credentials for your access. Once you've submitted the login and you confirmed your team ID details, it is then going to redirect you back into the InsuredMine portal, and it will give you a connection successful message. You should see that little green connect stamp, which means that you have successfully integrated your Canopy Connect portal with InsuredMine. Okay. And Colleen said, yeah, Colleen, if you don't have it integrated, you're not going to see the Canopy Connect options. Really what we're going to look at here in a second, those will not be visible to you if you have not first integrated it into the InsuredMine portal. I also see Carneal asked a question about what is the benefit or drawback of creating the X date. So the primary benefit is if we pull a policy Let's say we send the Canopy Connect link out, we have a prospect complete that for us, we pull in their existing policies, their deck pages, all of that information. If we have the checkbox selected, what it's going to do is it's automatically going to apply that upcoming expiration date as an X date on their contact file. Really, the main benefit is that it puts it into your opportunities purview and you can see if what's coming up. If you don't enable it, you're still going to potentially have the deal card or you at least have the policy details. So you still should know that expiration date is coming up. It's just an additional trigger or reminder for yourself to help track that opportunity. And then Sarah asked, does each user need to do the integration login or just the admin? In order to integrate to Canopy Connect, only the admin needs to do this. Individual users do not need to set up their own Canopy Connect login. Okay. And this goes without saying, but in order to use the integration with Canopy Connect, you do have to be a client with Canopy. You have to have previously subscribed to them in order to integrate this in the first place. They have a number of different plans. I believe Agency Plus, Complete, or Pro all integrate with InsuredMine. Okay. Trying to get this and stay on the call. Colleen, like I said, you may want to reach out to our support team if you're having issues. If you don't already have a Canopy Connect subscription, I would just say you can have us in the background. Go to Canopy's website and sign up for a trial there, or you can do it after the call. We do record this session, so if you need to look at these steps later on, you can find those. But if you're already using Canopy, like I said, just go to your integrations tab in settings. If you don't see the Canopy Connect integration tile, reach out to our support team on live chat and let them know that that's not visible for you. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions on connecting the integration before I go ahead and open up our demo portal to show you guys a little bit of where you can locate the different features and functions once the integration is completed? So then, like I said, the next thing we're going to look at is now that we've connected it to InsuredMine, how do I actually use this integration, right? How is this going to be baked into my existing sales workflows? How do I incorporate Canopy Connect into what I'm doing in InsuredMine? So give me 1 second. Let me switch screens real quick. All right. So hopefully everybody sees the demo portal now. What you can see is that I am in the integrations tab. If I scroll down to the bottom of this list, I should find my Canopy Connect integration. It has that connected stamp, which means it's enabled. So now I can go into either my accounts, my contacts, or in addition to that, my pipeline cards and send out links for send out my Canopy Connect links. Okay. In order to do that, let me just locate an account that I created. So here is my Canopy Connect test account. If I go ahead and open this up, you're going to see my normal account page. It has all my basic information, name, phone number, address. If I scroll down here on the left side of the page, what I'm going to find is these additional information sections. If I mapped any forms, they'd be visible here. If I had requested payments, I could track those here. This is where Canopy Connect will live. What I would do is I would click on this orange add button. It would pull up my available widgets. I would select the matching one, and then I would choose to deliver it either as an email or as a text message. Depending on how you communicate with your clients would be the preference here. Okay. Once we've sent this email out from the user side, they are going to receive an email communication. And just to show you a little bit of what that looks like, I'm accessing our Canopy Connect knowledge base article. which breaks down all of this information into a step-by-step process. But for the user side, when I trigger that Canopy Connect email to go out, they're going to receive this message, this communication, and they would click on the link in that email to be taken to verify their insurance through Canopy Connect. From that point, it would look exactly the same as if you were sending the link directly from your Canopy account. Okay. It's going to ask them to verify their current insurance provider. It will ask them to sign in with their credentials. Then it will retrieve the information. And once all of those details are retrieved, it'll be available in both Canopy and InsuredMine. Once you've submitted the link, it's going to be removed and visible here directly as your policy details. Okay. Now, once you've sent this link, let's say I've sent it from my contact page. When I click this drop down, any of those policies, any of those deck pages that we've pulled will be listed and available here as individual segments. So if they currently have a homeowner's policy, an auto policy, and a boat policy, all three would be listed here through the provider, and those deck pages will carry over into IM as well for you to view. This setup is pretty similar regardless of which page you're looking at in InsuredMine. If I go into the contact section over here, the contact page has it in the exact same place. At the bottom of this custom data input, we can see the Canopy Connect link option. Now, from a pipeline card, okay, we're going to go into this account. We're going to click on our pipeline card. And here, much the same idea, right? But because we have separate widgets and deal cards, you can find it more so in the middle of those available options. Regardless, it's always going to be on the left side of the screen. And once you've sent the link, you're really just waiting for them to complete the form. As soon as they've completed the form, it will update from this message, which just shows your tracking, whether you sent it, have they opened it, have they completed it. Once they have retrieved the information, that link disappears and it will then show their policy information. Okay. Any questions on that process of delivering the link or how it's displayed when it is returned? So Jim said, can we share the link via email and somehow link to the contactor card? So this is the process by which you would need to go if you want it linked directly to the contactor card. You need to click the Add Canopy Connect button, and you need to choose either the email or text option. If you send it out, if you just copy and paste the link and send it out as part of a separate campaign, it's not going to be added within the section. You'll still get the details in Canopy Connect if you use your standard link, but it won't leave linked to this account and contact in InsuredMine. This is the only method to link it to the IM account. So hopefully that answers your question, Jim. In addition, I don't have anything to demo for you on it today, but as well, we're working on a separate option for two-way sync with Canopy Connect that allows you to, if you are in Canopy, we have a contact in there that we want to send over to InsuredMine. We're working on additional functionality that you can click a button and link that account and contact into IM directly. Currently, what I'm demoing now is from the IM side. We can send the link and share that data with Canopy. The opposite end, the next step in this integration is to be able to take data that's in Canopy and send that over to InsuredMine. Okay. I do see Ian asks, it seems like Canopy is geared more towards PL. Do you have clients that use the integration for exclusively commercial policies? Myself personally, I have not interacted with anyone that is using this for commercial lines, at least to this point. I have a number of agencies that are using it for PL specifically. Um, I would definitely recommend getting in touch with your CSM or just asking other people around if they've used it for commercial policies. But my main use cases that I've seen is definitely more geared towards personal lines. Okay. I don't see anything else in the chat right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to navigate back to our dashboard. So if I click on the dashboard module here in the top left side, what I will find is I will find the Canopy Connect analytics section. So what this analytics section is going to do is it's going to track all of my sends. It's going to show me if I have sent the Canopy Connect link, which account I've sent it to, what is the pipeline card associated with that, if applicable, the agent name, the status, when it was sent, and whether or not we have officially pulled their policies yet. Once we've actually pulled that information, it goes under the pulled policy section. You can see the account name associated. Again, you can also see the pipeline card if applicable, the insurance provider for those policies, the policy number, the address details, and any other relevant information that we have pulled directly from the policy, including their policy deck pages, their documents. All of that will be visible here in the analytics portal. In addition, we can also filter the results. So you're not just looking at your all-time list. You can see, hey, I just want to look at what was sent in the last 7 days. What did we pull from Canopy Connect within the last week? That can be edited here and then delivered for you. In addition, if you notice, hey, it doesn't look like I have my most recent pulls here, or I sent more than these details. If for some reason it doesn't look like this list is updated, you can click this hard refresh button, which will force a refresh for the data that we're viewing here. Okay, that is found on your dashboard module, much like every other widget. If you would like to elevate that specific chart, you can click on widget settings here in the top left, top right, select the 6 dots here on the side, and then drag it to adjust the priority of it on your personal dashboard. Okay. And to give you a little bit more insight on what those X types look like when you actually check that box to automatically apply them, if you look right here on this example, when you pull those policies in from Canopy Connect, we will apply the X date and we will map it to the specific policy that we're pulling it from. In this case, we can see that they have a umbrella, a homeowners, and an auto policy, all of which expire on the same date in 2024. And like I said, what I'm pulling this information from, this kind of step-by-step guide right here, this is directly in our knowledge base. If you access the InsuredMine knowledge base, you can search up Canopy Connect integration and find this full article here. I'm also going to include it in the chat if anybody wants to review this after the webinar is completed. Okay. Another thing that you can do with the pulled policy information is you can actually generate a deal card off of that policy that we've pulled. So as the example is showing here, we have a policy number that we pulled from Canopy Connect. We can see its category, its carrier, its effective date and expiration date, as well as the premium that is associated with that policy. All you need to do is check the box here in the top left corner of the policy, click Add Deal, and then that will pull up the form to create the deal card in the pipeline module. All you need to do, so sorry, I almost sneezed. I apologize, guys. But all you need to do once you've clicked on that button is fill out the form to determine which pipeline you want to send it to, the stages, the assignee, the basic details. but the quote information, the effective date, expiration date, the premium amount, the carrier, all of that should autofill and then apply into the quote when you create the deal card. Okay. And then same thing, if you're doing it directly from the pipeline card itself, just click on this plus icon across from the policy, and that will generate it. Okay. Any questions on that portion of the integration? Is there anything I can clarify for you guys on pulling those quotes from the policies we get in the Canopy Connect link? I just realized I was muted that entire time, guys. Sorry. I don't know how I got muted in the first place, but yeah. So, Jim, to answer your question, what is the best practice for if you've already created a deal card and then you want to add the Canopy Connect link after the fact? All you need to do is access the deal card, scroll down here on the left side, locate the Canopy Connect section, click the add button, just like if you were on the account or contact, select your widget, determine how you want to send the communication, and the rest of the process is the same, right? So then it will be delivered to your prospect or to your client. They will click on the link, map their information. It will then retrieve that data, those policies, bring them into the deal card in InsuredMine, and then you would just check the box across from the policy you want to map to the quote. So again, if you're creating a deal card from a form for an auto policy, right? They'd completed an auto take into an intake form for an auto quote. They already have an auto policy with State Farm as the example. Let's just say that. When they complete the Canopy Connect link, that auto policy is going to be brought into the deal card. All you need to do is click that plus icon that's across from the policy number, and that will then add it to your quote section. So all that information, the premium, the carrier, the effective date and expiration date will all pull directly into the quote section once that's done. Okay. Technical difficulties aside, does anybody have any other questions on that? Jim, did that answer your question? For the Canopy Connect email, it's gonna be a template, much like a lot of our other templates. It will show what we're sending, and I can actually scroll up here. So it's going to show you what's being delivered. You can edit the text that's in there if you need to, but you can't replace it with a separate template. It's going to be the same template. So you can adjust any of this paragraph information. Obviously, you can't change the link, but if you just want to change the text here a little bit, make it a little friendlier, you can do so, but just know that you have to do it every time. You can't change it or replace it with your own custom template. Of course. Right. Does anybody else have any questions on really integrating the Canopy Connect, doing the Canopy Connect integration, how to send the requests out? what to do with the policies once we retrieve them. Is there anything else I can answer for you guys on that front? I'm gonna share this link again in chat just so it's at the very top of the list here. Like I said, this covers the entirety of what our integration can do right now. In the very near future, we should be releasing an update for the Canopy Connect integration that will then allow you to send information from Canopy directly to InsuredMine. Once that's done, we're going to update this and you'll be able to have a new article with that information. We'll also most likely cover it in one of our feature release webinars. Okay. Let me go ahead and switch back to the slides real quick. Okay. So before we do move on to our wrap up portion, as I said before, if anybody has any additional questions, I'll give you a few minutes here to type them in chat. Happy to review anything that you guys have. All right. So then a little bit of wrap up here. I do want to make sure that everybody is aware of our InsuredMine Academy. This is a training portal where you can access agent certification courses, admin certification, as well as details on our integrations with other AMSs. These are great materials for you guys. Even if you're been with InsuredMine for quite a while, it's an option to refresh your knowledge and look at some of the updates we've made in the portal, most likely since your original training. This is a great resource just to get a little bit more information on how the InsuredMine modules operate. Next up, we do have webinars every other week. Sessions geared towards integrations like this, specific processes, or new features that we've released in the InsuredMine system. These are excellent tools for you guys to get a little bit more involved in what InsuredMine is working on, any new releases that we have. You can join these webinars. We have them every other Wednesday. And then lastly, we do ask that if you are enjoying these sessions or if there's things you think we can improve on, if there's topics that you want to see covered, please leave your feedback on this form. We would love to hear what you guys are wanting to hear more about. We'd love to hear what we can improve upon in these sessions to make them more beneficial to each and every one of our clients. Okay. And with that said, that's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your designated CSM or contact our support team via live chat. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll talk again soon. Have a great one.